all right.
Morning, Mr. Mason.
Good morning.
Hello, Johnny.
Lovely morning.
Hi, Johnny.
Beautiful morning.
Morning, Mr. Mason.
Harry, it's a marvelous morning.
Have a nice trip?
Sensation.
Great city, Boston.
Terrific.
Happy bridegroom, yoo-hoo! Happy bridegroom, yoo-hoo! Happy bridegroom, happy bridegroom, happy bridegroom, yoo-hoo!
How'd you meet her, Johnny? What's she like?
Come on.
Wait a minute. I can't describe her. Nobody can. But I happen to have a photograph of her here.
Well, well, well.
Hello, Carter.
So you combine business with pleasure. Wait till Judge Doolittle hears about this, my boy.
Here's about what?
About you getting married on his time, without his consent, or his daughter's.
What's she got to do with it?
Well, now, my boy, the chief topic of conversation around these parts has been that you and Miss Doolittle...
No, malarkey, office talk, Carter. Isn't a word of truth in it.
Judge Doolittle may not think so.
Is that so? Well, if he doesn't like it, he can lump it.
Mason?
Oh, good morning, Judge Doolittle.
What's all this mess?
Well, it seems that everybody around here found out that when I was up in Boston...
What are you doing in Boston?
You sent me, sir. Don't you remember? You sent me up there to get a deposition on the Higgins versus Higgins case.
Did you get it?
Yes, sir.
Well, what's all this horseplay?
Well, while I was in Boston, after I got the deposition, I had a few hours to spare, and so I had just a few hours.
Well, go on.
I got married.
You what?
I got married.
You got married?
Yes, sir, I got married.
Come into my office.
Yes, sir.
Where's the deposition?
There you are, sir.
What's this?
Oh, that's just sort of a letter.
So you got married.
Yes, sir.
I imagine this will be a surprise to some people.
Yes, sir. No, sir. I mean, well, I don't know. It all happened rather suddenly. See, we met on Boston Common the night I arrived, and I'd had a bite at Thompson's Spa, and then I took a little stroll around the Common, and I saw her standing there. She, just standing there. She had a cinder in her eye.
Where?
In her eye.
Whose eye?
Jane's. Mrs. Mason, my wife.
Oh.
Of course, she wasn't my wife then. She's my wife now. So. And I got the cinder out of her eye.
And you married her?
Yes, sir.
Quick work, wasn't it?
Yes, sir. Ah, Judge, we knew the moment we looked at each other. We knew the moment we looked at each other.
You did?
Yes, sir.
Last year, there were nearly 500,000 divorces in this country. Congratulations, Mason.
Well, thank you very much, sir.
Mr. Hunt would like your opinion on this, sir. Oh, this is for you, Mr. Mason. Special messenger. It's marked Rush, important.
Rush? Important? What is it?
Oh, it's nothing.
What is it?
Oh, it's a letter from my wife.
Your wife? What'd you do, leave her in Boston?
Oh, no, she's right here, sir.
Here in town?
Yes, sir.
Well, if your wife's in town, why'd she write you a letter?
Well, she likes to write letters, Judge. Yes, it's sort of a little custom we have. You see, she wrote me a letter the first day she met me, right as soon as she got home, and she's written me one ever since. Even coming down on the train together, she wrote me. You see, when I get a letter from her, it's sort of like a visit, you see. Judge, when two people get married, they usually go on a honeymoon.
I didn't. I don't approve of honeymoons. Waste of time.
Uh-huh. Well, you know how women are, and Mrs. Mason and I...
What about Higgins against Higgins? You're the only one in the office knows this case. It's on the calendar for next week.
Well, if I could get a continuance.
Opposing counsel wouldn't consent.
Well, but I talked to Mr. Hornblow this morning, and he agreed to a continuance.
Well, all right. Take a week.
A week? Well, Judge, I'm afraid we wouldn't be able to make it in a week.
What?
We couldn't make it in a week.
Make what?
My wife and I had sort of planned a trip to Europe on the Normandy.
Oh, well, take 2 weeks then.
And after I got the cinder out of Jane's eye, we talked for a little while, and then we took a little walk around the Commons.
Yes?
And now we walked for quite some time, then we went over to Thompson's Spa for a bite.
Yes?
And we had a bite.
Well, rather an unconventional meeting, wasn't it?
These cookies are delicious.
They're made with sour cream.
Oh, I'm crazy about sour cream.
I'm crazy about Jane.
John's so young and impulsive.
Oh, now, Mother, wait a minute. This is different.
Are you visiting relatives here in New York, my dear?
Well, yes and no. Not exactly.
I came over with Johnny.
From Boston? Together? Last night?
Well, yes, Mother. We thought as long as we were engaged.
Engaged?
Oh, I know how upset you must be, Mrs. Mason. You know so little about me, and it all happened so suddenly.
Well, I should think it was sudden. What did your family have to say about it?
I have no family.
Oh. Didn't John say something about your taking a course in journalism?
Yes, but I gave it up after I met Johnny.
Yeah, I'm sort of a postgraduate course.
Oh, my dear, if you have a talent for writing, take my advice and develop it while you're young. One needs all one's time and energy for a career.
Don't you think marriage is a career in itself?
Oh, indeed, emphatically. That's why one mustn't rush into it pell-mell. Marriage is a business, a very serious business, a partnership, in the strictest sense of the word. One must prepare for it. There are so many things to learn.
Well, Jane will learn all those after we're married.
I hope and pray that that day will not come for many years.
Well, Mother, what do you mean? You mean we shouldn't?
Emphatically not. There's no reason for Jane to develop into a little household drudge. Oh, I hope you understand I have nothing against Jane. In fact, I like her. I like her very much.
Well, I'm glad you do, Mother, because you remember a little while ago you asked Jane whether she'd come to New York to visit relatives? Well, as a matter of fact, she has come to New York to visit relatives. She's visiting some right now. You see,
we're married.
Oh.
Well, now, Mother, everybody gets married sooner or later.
Johnny, get the smelling salts.
What do they look like? Mother, where are the smelling salts?
What's done is done. You'll have children of your own, I suppose, and you'll love them and devote your life to them. Then they'll grow up and leave you, and you'll say to yourself, it's all right. That's the way it is. You've served your purpose.
Oh, Mother, don't excite yourself anymore.
Oh, I'm all right now. I wish you every possible happiness and joy. I think perhaps I'd better go to bed. I'm all right. I'll find a place to live, of course.
Someplace to live? Well, of course not, Mother. You'll stay with us. We're going to find a new apartment. We've talked this all over, and Jane will insist, won't you, darling?
We couldn't think of anything else.
Well, we'll see.
Well, see, I told you it'd be all right.
Oh, Johnny, maybe we shouldn't have gotten married. Maybe we shouldn't have gotten married at all.
All visitors ashore, please. All visitors ashore, please.
Don't let him eat too many strawberries.
I won't.
He gets rashes. And don't forget to make him wear his raincoat in London.
I won't.
He had pneumonia once.
Mother, that was 12 years ago. I feel fine now.
And take good care of yourself, too.
Goodbye, Mrs. Mason.
Take good care of him.
Goodbye, Mother. Oh, now, Mother, it's only 2 weeks, you know.
I know.
Goodbye.
Oh.
What's this?
The heating pad. You forgot to pack it.
Here it is. What do you think of it?
Well, it's cozy.
Oh, it's the only one I had left. I think we can do better after both sails.
What for? I love it. It's so intimate. What's this?
No, that's nothing. No.
Is it something somebody gave you?
No.
I know it's something for me.
No, it's just...
It is.
No,
Let me see it.
It's
What do you
something I
mean?
forgot to pack.
What are you being so mysterious about? Let me see it.
Really, it's nothing, Jane.
Oh, I bet it's a going-away present. You can't fool me, Johnny. You shouldn't have done this. Oh, Johnny, you fool.
Gee whiz, I couldn't leave it in the office. Jane.
What?
You know, when I was in school, I was taught that 2 things can't occupy the same place at the same time.
What? Oh. Well, we'll get the store to get us a bigger bed.
No, you couldn't get a bigger bed in here, though.
Oh, I think it's big enough.
Oh, yeah, wait till you try and turn around.
Well, sure it is.
Let's see. That's not so bad. We have Ocean's room here.
Johnny, this is the first time in my life I've ever been away from America.
Me too.
Oh, isn't it just beautiful?
Yeah, I guess so. Jane.
What, Johnny?
You remember that cinder I took out of your eye up in Boston?
Oh, never forget.
Well, you know, I threw that away. I shouldn't have done that. I should have kept that cinder, put it in a locket or something, you know? If it hadn't been for that cinder, maybe we'd never have met.
Oh, don't say that, Johnny. We had to meet.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Still, if it hadn't been for that cinder...
Oh, Johnny, isn't it just beautiful? Bon voyage, darling.
Bon voyage. Where is stateroom 504?
First room to your left, sir.
Come in. Well, hello, Carter. Nice of you to come down.
Judge Doolittle sent me.
He did. Oh, Carter, this is it's my wife. Darling, Mr. Carter from the office.
How do you do?
Happy to know you. It's a good thing I got here in time. You've got just about 10 minutes.
10 minutes for what?
To get off the boat.
To get off? What are you talking about?
Higgins against Higgins.
What about Higgins against Higgins?
Higgins against Higgins goes on the calendar for next week.
Oh, no. Well, that's where you're mistaken. I got a continuance for a whole month.
You think you did?
Well, I did. You ask Hornblow about it. He gave me his word of honor.
Well, you know Hornblow.
But, Johnny, they can't do this to you.
No, they can't do this
What
to
does
me.
Judge Doolittle think he is, a puppet?
What does he think I am, a puppet or something?
Some kind of a pawn he can push around any way he likes?
Push her all over the place?
Is that what you want me to tell Doolittle?
Yes.
Oh, Carter, wait a minute. Are you sure that Higgins case is going on next week?
Monday morning at 9 o'clock.
Monday? Look, will you excuse us just a minute? Jane.
I'm glad you said that, John.
Yeah, sure. Jane, look, this Higgins versus Higgins is a pretty important case.
I don't care if it's the most important case in the world. It isn't as important as our honeymoon, is it?
No, of course not, darling. But just what's the matter?
Got lipstick on your mouth.
Oh, well, you know, a lawyer is sort of like a doctor or a soldier. You've got to disregard your own convenience.
Convenience? You don't call this a convenience.
No, darling. Now, listen, darling. Believe me, I'd tell Doolittle to jump in the lake, and I'd even at the risk of losing my job. But if I win the case, I get a chance to go in with the firm. And a firm like this. But it's my honeymoon, and Doolittle knows it's my honeymoon. There are just some things a man just can't do. There's some things a man just can't do.
That Carter thought it was funny. He laughed. Oh, I hate that liver pill.
You ever try pulling anything like this again?
I hate that Judge Do Nothing. I wish someone would step on that ear thing of his.
Well, we still have the tickets here.
Oh, I hope Higgins beats Higgins. Oh, Johnny.
The alligator pears, Annie.
Johnny!
It's your mother-in-law.
Oh, hello, dear. Would you mind fixing the place cards for me? I'm so late. They're right in there on the desk.
Certainly, dear.
The girl took so long to fix my hair, I didn't get out of the place till 6:30. Still sopping wet.
You should have made an earlier appointment.
Yes, I should. I thought I'd put Judge Doolittle on my right, of course.
Naturally.
And Mr. Carter, I suppose I'll have to have him on my left.
You seem to think I've never done this before.
No, dear, it's just that I never have.
You have the wine glasses on the wrong side, Annie.
The left side was the right side where I worked before.
The right side with the water glasses, Annie.
How do you think the table looks?
Isn't it a little crowded?
Oh, that girl will drive me crazy. Oh, the things that pop up at the last minute. You know, I had to borrow some finger bowls from the woman downstairs because we only had 4. Oh. Are you sitting on Johnny's right?
Well, I always have been.
Well, I thought I'd put Miss Doolittle there tonight.
Oh. Well, of course, it's your party, my dear.
But just this once, do you mind?
Oh, no, of course not. You know, I used to think that John and Eunice Doolittle...
Yes?
There was nothing in it. But a lovely girl.
Would you be a dear and see if Annie has the appetizers fixed?
Why, of course, my dear. I think you have too many on the plate, Annie, and shouldn't they be garnished? Where's the silver tray, the one I gave them?
I don't know how many hands they expect you to have around this place. There's just so much a body can do. I'm only human.
I'll fix the canopies for you, Annie, as you seem to have so much to do. A little bit too much vinegar in the salad dressing, I'm afraid, Annie.
I'm only human.
Oh, your potatoes aren't going to burn, are they? I'm afraid you put them on too early.
I'm leaving.
You're what?
Right now. You can stand just so much, and I'm only human.
But you can't do that. What's the matter?
I can't please everybody.
Oh. But Annie, my guest will be here any minute.
Well, I'll see you through dinner, but I'm leaving at 9 o'clock sharp in order to catch the 9:30 ferry boat to Staten Island. And nobody's going to stop me. I'm only human.
Watch the potatoes, Annie.
Dear, Annie has so much to do with the extra guests and everything. Don't you think we'd better humor her tonight and sort of leave her alone?
But you asked me to see about the canopies.
Well, I know, but it's a great deal for one person to do, and too many of us telling her what to do only upsets her.
Well, I was only trying to help.
Oh, there's Johnny. I bet you forgot the wine.
Oh, Grandpa's favorite tipple. Called up Doolittle's club and found out. Pretty nice, huh? It's burgundy and it sparkles. Here, have Annie chill it, Mother. Gosh, they'll be here any minute. Hey, come on, you better hurry up and get dressed. How's everything going?
Everything's lovely. An ultimatum from Annie, and this one's final. She's through tonight.
Tonight?
It's all right, though. She'll see us through dinner.
Oh. I don't see why you have so much trouble with servants out of the office and get all the help we want.
I'd like to change places with you just for one day.
Jane, for Pete's sake, what did you do with the witch case?
I didn't have it. Look on the third shelf back of the eye wash.
You're always putting things behind things.
That was a brilliant idea of yours asking Eunice Doolittle at the last minute.
Well, she and the judge are sort of like corned beef and cabbage. They're always together.
And that impossible twerp Carter. I suppose you had to ask him, too.
Well, Eunice had some sort of a date with Carter, so what could I do? Gosh, I not only do all that guy's work for him, I feed him as well. Well, it's all going to be different when my name goes up there on that door.
Johnny, you really think so?
Well, it's practically up there now. What's for dinner tonight?
Roast beef.
Roast beef, Doolittle's delight.
You know, I tried to have Annie make Yorkshire pudding, but she never heard of it.
It's all right. Between roast beef and Higgins against Higgins, how can we lose? So, that's going to be all right, my name up there on the door. Doolittle.
Messr. Smith.
Doolittle.
Hutch.
And Mason.
Oh, Johnny.
Well, didn't I win my motion for a new trial on Higgins against Higgins? I had a memo from Doolittle today.
You did? What did he say?
He said he couldn't have handled it better himself. When he eats from your table tonight, he'll eat out of my hand. And will I tell Carter?
And will we hop the Normandy?
And will we go places?
And will we do things? Darling, I don't like that tie. Wear the blue one.
Holy mackerel.
Johnny, does your name have to be last?
Well, for the time being, anyway. Gosh, you know what it means to a man to get into a firm like that?
You know what it means to a firm to get a man like you in it? Here, hook me up.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice neck you got there.
As nice as Eunice Doolittle's?
You know, well, what do I know about Eunice Doolittle's neck? Never even noticed she had one. Hey, you know what time it is? Get dressed, will you?
Well, I am dressed.
Well, come on, then. Oh, Granite Puss will be here any minute.
Good evening.
Well, Judge, good evening. I have great news for you tonight, Judge. We're having roast beef.
What?
Roast beef for dinner.
Would you care for some more wine, Judge Doolittle?
What's that?
More wine?
Yes, thank you.
Annie, some more wine for Judge Doolittle.
There ain't any more.
Annie, a salad fork for Judge Doolittle.
I put one there.
The funniest thing happened the other day, Judge Doolittle. I ran across the yearbook of my husband's class in college, and in the class prophecy, he was picked as the one most likely to succeed.
What's that?
The other day, I ran across the yearbook of my husband's class in college, and in the class prophecy...
Oh, yes.
He Higgins against Higgins is a pretty important case, isn't it?
Well, we like to think all of our cases are important. The little client of today may be the big client of tomorrow.
Oh, you're so right, Judge.
For instance, we got a client the other day that...
Oh, dear. What happened to your ice cream, Annie?
I told you to get that ice box fixed.
Annie, give this note to Mr. Mason. Is it true, Judge Doolittle, something new is going to happen in the firm this week?
Excuse me.
What?
Excuse me, please.
Oh, yes, we're going to have a blood transfusion. I'm only speaking metaphorically, of course. What I mean is that we're getting some new blood into the firm, appointing a junior partner.
Oh.
You couldn't stand serve the coffee, could you, Annie?
No.
No. All right, now, here's $7, and I'll send you...
I want my $12 now.
Shh, all right, Annie, I'll get it for you. I'll get it, maybe.
That's the way we keep an old firm young. I've been doing this...
Excuse me, please.
Johnny.
Every 5 years. But it's quite a job to pick the right man.
I shouldn't think so. Surely it's a question of merit.
As a rule, I trust my own judgment. But when it comes to picking men,
Excuse me, please.
Johnny.
I think there's nothing like a woman's intuition.
Oh, you're so right, Judge.
Of course, Eunice doesn't know much about law, but she's traveled all over the world, and she does know people. 5 years ago, it was at her suggestion that I took Mr. Hutch into the firm. It worked out so well that...
I beg your pardon. I'm very sorry.
This year, I have again consulted my daughter. And now, a new name moves up on the door of our offices. Beginning next Monday, the name of the firm will be Doolittle, Messerschmitt, Doolittle, Hutch, and Carter.
Well, Carter, that's... Congratulations. That's wonderful, isn't it? Isn't it? I always knew you had it in you, Carter. Well, I'd like to propose a toast to the new partner. But we seem to have run out of wine. There isn't any more wine.
May I have some notepaper and an envelope, please?
Certainly.
Thank you. Oh, Columbia, the gem of the ocean.
Would you like a stamp?
No, thank you. Could I have a safety pin, please?
Surely.
Thank you.
And I tell you, gentlemen of the jury, that the defendant Higgins, with unbrotherly venom and motivated solely by a desire maliciously and hatefully to interfere with his brother's rights and privileges, deliberately and improperly diverted the waters of the stream. Well, gentlemen, I leave the determination of these matters in your hands, confident that your verdict will bring justice to my client, the plaintiff in this action.
Gentlemen of the jury, you will now retire to arrive at a verdict.
Jane, how long have you been here?
Oh, I got here just as you started your summation. Oh, Johnny, it was wonderful.
You should have been here when I cross-examined Higgins.
You're Higgins?
No, the other one.
You skinned him alive.
I tore him apart. I really caught him.
Johnny.
Second part, not part of the first part. We're going to need. What's it? Part of the second part wishes to announce the part of the first part that we're going to be in the market for large space. Part of the third part. Jane!
Congratulations, Mr. Mason.
Good work.
You did a swell job.
How is she? Oh, she's fine. Everything was fine. Baby weighs 7 pounds, 1 1/3 ounces.
Is this mine?
This is your boy.
Now he's all yours, Mr. Mason.
Yep, all mine.
Come in again sometime.
Thanks very much. I will. I mean, yeah.
Hey, what do you think you're doing holding up traffic? Well, now, what is it, a boy or a girl?
What do you think?
Hey, cut that out, all of you! You want to wake that baby? All right, get going.
Johnny.
Uh-huh.
You like him?
Sort of.
Don't you think he's just beautiful? Don't you think he's just beautiful?
Jane, don't you think he looks old?
Old? What do you mean old?
Well, I mean, don't you think he looks about 6 months old, or a year at least?
Oh, don't be silly, darling. Don't you think he's just beautiful?
If he grows up to look like you.
How can he? He has all your features.
I don't see how you can tell that by looking at that.
Well, just
face.
look at the crinkles around his eyes. They're just like yours when you're happy.
He doesn't look happy, Jane. He looks kind of bored.
Well, you'd be bored, too, if you'd been through what he has. Oh, don't you think he's just beautiful?
Look at that. Jane, look at that grip. Look at that.
But don't you think he's just beautiful?
Now, mister, how's it feel to have your first bath?
Be sure you soap his head thoroughly. It prevents cradle cap.
Yes, I know, Mother.
Dear Johnny doesn't want nasty old cradle cap, does he?
Boy, look at those shoulders. Jane, can't I do something, please?
Johnny! What you've done, I almost dropped him. Will you please move over?
Yeah, all right.
Johnny, let me show you how.
I know how, Mother. They showed me in the hospital.
Now, you don't rub him dry. You just pat him.
I am patting him.
He looks red. Maybe the water was too hot.
No, it wasn't, Mother. I tested it. It was just right.
Was it water too hot for Eddie, Johnny?
Johnny, give me a shirt.
Shirt. Here.
No, not that one. This one.
Boy, look at that chest. Come on, Jane, can't I help?
Be careful with his little head, my dear.
I will. Johnny, you better go in the kitchen and warm his milk.
No.
Not too hot, John.
Oh, hallelujah. He's bathed.
Touch the colic.
It isn't, Mother. He's just hungry.
I'm sorry, my dear. It's a touch of the colic. He's been crying for 5 minutes.
Johnny, where's that bottle?
All right, mister, here you are. Feed bag.
They don't eat with their hands, you dope. Here, hose.
What are you doing? I'll get it.
You see, Mother, he was just hungry.
If he were fed on time, he wouldn't cry.
As soon as we're organized...
Well, it's a pity he has to be fed on the bottle.
I haven't heard the baby complain as yet.
John never saw a bottle till he was 6 months old.
I won't say anything. I won't say anything.
What's that, my dear?
What do you think? It's a present from old Granite Bush.
I bet it's a summons.
No, it's a bank book. Look. Oh, he's deposited $10. Hey, that's a lot of money for the little guy.
I hope it doesn't plunge Judge Doolittle into bankruptcy.
I don't know. After that hospital bill, he's got more cash in the bank than I have.
Well, I think it was very considerate of Judge Doolittle to think about the baby's future.
Well, it isn't the future that worries me. It's the present. Where are we going to put him?
Well, why can't he stay in our room?
You know he kept you awake all last night.
My dear, you should have taken that into consideration before you rented this apartment.
I know I should have.
Now, if my own room weren't so small...
Oh, no, dear. I wouldn't think of it.
Well, look, darling, why can't we keep him in our room in the daytime and in the living room at night?
It's too far away from the bedroom.
All right, how about the dining room?
It's too near the kitchen. But I guess it'll have to do.
Mrs.
Yes, Hilda?
Could I see you for a minute, please?
What is it, Hilda?
Your mother-in-law hired me when you was away. But she didn't tell me why you was away.
You mean you don't approve of my having a baby?
Oh, yeah, that's your business. You can have as many babies as you like.
Thank you. That's big of you.
But my business is cooking. You can get somebody else to wash the diapers.
You're fired.
Oh, Johnny, now just don't worry about it.
I wish I could go back to the hospital.
After this lease is up, I'm going to get you a house in the country. You're going to have a room all by yourself. You're going to have a garden where you can ride around on your bicycle. And I'm... Hey, Mother. Mother, come here. Jane, look. He's smiling at me. He's smiling at me.
That's gas.
Hello, darling. How was it?
Oh, swell.
Who was there?
Oh, just the same old crowd, 10 years older.
Who spoke, Johnny?
Well, Ed O'Malley, he made quite a speech. Oh, he just bought a seat on the stock exchange. Joe Kendall, he just came back from opening a London office.
Did you make a speech?
Yeah.
What did you say?
Well, you know, just kind of things you have to talk about at reunions. Wasn't much.
Oh, what did you say, honey?
My speech was pretty short. What did I have to say? Man most likely to succeed.
Oh, well, you still are. I bet your speech was swell. Did you tell him that funny story you told me yesterday?
No. Didn't think of it. All I could think of was my achievement. What I've accomplished, how far I've gone. I suppose I could have told them that I used your money, all of it, to buy furniture for this apartment.
Well, now, that's silly. Your money, my money. What difference does it make? It wasn't very much anyway.
I don't know. Maybe I could have told them that the baby has to sleep in the dining room.
Well, what of it? It's only temporary till we get another apartment.
Yeah, just because I can't afford to get you a decent
Stop
place
that.
to
Don't
live.
say those things. Sometimes I get so mad at you, I can't see straight.
Sometimes I get so mad at myself I can't see at all.
I know what happened. Your dinner disagreed with you. What did you have?
I don't know. I didn't need any.
No, I know what's wrong. You're hungry. Come on, honey. I'll get you something out of the icebox. Now, let's see. There's some cheese you like and a whole cold chicken staring us right in the face. Which?
Chicken.
Darling, the trouble with you is you let people step on you. You do all the work down in that office. Coffee?
No, I have milk.
Got more about law than Carter will ever know. How do you expect people to recognize your value, white or rye?
Dry.
Unless you recognize it yourself. I couldn't get along without you for a minute, and you know it. Everybody else knows it.
Everybody but Doolittle.
He does, too, only he takes advantage of you. I told you when he promoted Carter over your head, you should have quit. Walked right out on him.
How could I do that? What about
I know
you?
your mother and me. I wish you'd forget about us.
Well, if I lost my job...
But you wouldn't. They wouldn't let you go. You're far too valuable. If you left, Doolittle would crawl on his hands and knees and beg you to come back.
Hands and knees. Oh, no, you don't know Doolittle.
Well, I know you. All you have to do is speak up. Stand right up to Doolittle. Don't ask for your rights. Demand them.
Darling, you... Remember when I bought you that ring in Boston? Promised you I'd get you a better one later?
Well, I don't want a better one later.
Said you liked the platinum one with the diamonds.
Well, that can wait.
Yeah, well, I suppose the mink coat can wait, too, huh? About 400 years I can afford to buy you one.
What are you, a man or a mouse?
A mouse.
John Mason, you know what's the matter with you? You're too modest. You don't appreciate yourself. Well, I do want the platinum ring, and I want a fur coat. Not the mink one, but a fur coat. And I want a honeymoon on the Normandy, and I want an apartment big enough for your mother and the baby so the baby won't have to sleep in the dining room. But you can get that for me. You can get everything I want, everything that's coming to me. But first you've got to get what's coming to you.
Well, if I just knew how to go about it.
It's easy.
No, you think it's easy.
You just walk right into the office and you say...
No, Jane, you don't walk into Doolittle's office. He sends for you.
Well, this time you're going to walk in. Go right up to him and you say, Judge Doolittle, there's something I've got to say to you right now.
No, you can't talk to him like that, though.
Have you ever tried?
No, Jane, you don't understand. If I barged in there like that, and
He'd say, what is it, Mason? Sit down.
He never asked me to sit down in his life.
Well, then stand up, but don't let him interrupt you. Speak your piece.
Oh, well, no, you speak your piece. It's easy to do here in the kitchen. You get downtown.
Well, downtown or uptown, what difference does it make? You're not asking a favor of him. You're demanding your rights. He'll listen. Make him listen.
All right, okay, all right. Well, what do I say?
You'll say, Judge Doolittle, I've been working for you for 5 years now, and I've given you everything that's in me, every ounce.
All right, what'll he say?
There's no doubt about it, Mason. I never questioned your ability or your loyalty.
Uh-huh. What'll I say then?
Judge Doolittle, what are you going to do about it?
I hate to think what he'll say.
He'll say, Mason, what do you expect me to do? And you'll say, Judge Doolittle, the right thing. I want more money, and I want to be taken into the firm. And he'll say...
Yeah, he'll say plenty.
No matter what he'll say, you'll say, Judge Doolittle, I either get a raise and a junior partnership or else. Or else you can accept my resignation effective immediately.
Effective immediately. It's all right, Jane. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm going to do that some of these days.
Some of these days is tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock.
Well, if you think I should.
Well, darling, there's no time like the present.
Well, come on now. Let's start from the beginning. Now, I walk into the office and I say...
Judge Doolittle, there's something I got to say to you right now.
Yeah. Judge Doolittle, there's something I've got to say to you right now.
Either I get a raise and a junior partnership.
Yeah, either I get a raise and a junior partnership.
Or you can accept my resignation.
Or you can accept my resignation effective immediately.
Effective immediately.
Not bad. I've been working in this office for the last 5 years. And there's something I want to tell you right now. Either I get a raise and a junior partnership, or else.
Or else.
A raise and a junior partnership, or else...
Judge Doolittle is in.
Okay. Or else you can accept my resignation effective immediately.
What is it, a jury case?
Now, never mind. I'm thinking.
Here are the papers in City against Consolidated. I want you to drop over to Consolidated and see their accountants.
Okay.
Psst, just got in.
Okay. Okay.
Come in.
Judge Doolittle, there's something I want to say to you right now. Judge Doolittle, I've been working in this office.
Oh, it's you. Just the one I want to see. Sit down.
Thank you, sir.
Mason?
Yes, sir.
You've been doing pretty good work lately.
Well, thank you, Judge.
Capable, dependable, and loyal right from the first.
Well, that's mighty nice of you, Judge.
But, Mason, these are extraordinary times for all of us. Some of our biggest clients are affected. They all complain that they're practically working for the government. Most of them claim that it'll be all they can do to stay in business till the next election. So they're cutting expenses right and left. We're the first to feel it. Naturally, we must do something about it.
Naturally.
What?
Naturally.
I don't want to cut down the personnel of my staff if I can possibly help it. It wouldn't be constructive. So the only way out, as I see it, is to tighten our belts. I'm asking everyone to take a 25% cut. I'm taking a substantial cut in my own personal drawing account. It's a sacrifice, but it hits all of us, and these are days of sacrifice.
Judge, I know, but I have...
These times we must all put our shoulder to the wheel if we are to survive.
Oh, yes, sir. The shoulder to the wheel. The only thing is, Judge...
I'm glad you understand, Mason, and I appreciate your cooperation.
Thank you, sir.
Hello? Oh, excuse me, Mason.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Commissioner. How are you? Oh, Commissioner, you know that little piece of property up on Park Avenue? Yes, well, if the price is right...
Did you want something, Mr. Mason?
No, thank you, Lily. Well?
Morning, Johnny.
Good morning.
How do you feel?
I feel fine.
What time is it?
3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, high noon.
It's 2 o'clock, isn't it?
Well, if you know what time it is, why did you ask me what time it is? What difference does it make what time it is anyway? I feel fine.
Feel better now?
Feel fine.
Are you comfortable?
Perfectly comfortable.
Are you sure you're comfortable?
Well, certainly I'm sure I'm comfortable.
Well, don't you think you'd be more comfortable if you took your shoes off? Can I help you?
I can do very nicely by myself, thank you. I feel fine. What time is it? Am I comfortable? How do I feel? You'd think I'd committed some kind of a crime or something. You'd think I was on the witness stand. I can do that. A man comes home looking for a little peace and quiet, and what happens? Blah, blah, blah. Why didn't you call me back? Why didn't you come home for dinner? A million questions just because a man...
I ran into Judge Doolittle this afternoon after you saw him. Johnny, you fool. What difference does it make whether you get a raise or a partnership or anything?
Oh, Jane, I'll let you down. I'll always let you down. I'm no good, Jane.
Johnny, don't say that. It was my fault for interfering. I made you do it, and I'm terribly sorry. I'll never do it again, never. We don't need anything. We have each other and the baby, our beautiful baby. You're all I have and all I want. Please, if you tell me you feel bad, I'll die. Johnny, look at me and tell me you don't feel bad.
Oh, I don't feel bad, Jane. Jane, I don't feel bad. Honest, I don't. I feel fine.
Johnny, the next time you go out and get hurt, if you don't take me with you, I'll get a divorce.
You better get a good lawyer.
I've got a good lawyer.
Is you tired?
Oh, I've been all over town and my head's splitting.
Well, lean back and let Lily rub the back of your neck. Been around visiting, Miss Mason?
Mm-hmm.
Does Mr. Mason know you was looking for a job?
Who said I was looking for a job? Oh, Lily, it isn't nice to go prying into people's affairs.
Excuse me, Miss Mason.
Lily, you must be the 15th woman I've had working for me since I've been married, and you're too good to be true. You're worth your weight in gold.
Ah, that's a lot of gold.
You're the best woman I ever had in the house. Just simply perfect. That's why it breaks my heart to have to tell you
Oh, never you mind, honey. I knows. I'm a luxury.
Oh, I'd never let you go, never if I...
Oh, shucks, honey. You ain't getting rid of me. You's just getting me off your budget. Is the head better?
Much better. I'll make an awful mess of things without you.
Oh, no, you won't. You'll step right in and do the job. It's a pretty good job, too. A whole lot better than you can get on the outside. Taking care of a nice young man and a sweet little baby and an old lady that's a little pernisky, but that's because she's getting along and don't have nothing to do.
I wish it were as simple as that.
Lily's a whole lot older than you are, honey, and she's done a lot of living. She learned one thing. Never let the seeds stop you from enjoying the watermelon.
It's all right if you've got a watermelon.
You mustn't say that, Miss Mason. You's got your watermelon. But you chokes yourself up on all them little seeds. I always say spit 'em out. Spit 'em out before they spoil your taste for the melon.
Spit 'em out.
Bless you.
Bless you. Bless you. Are you sure Carter has our telephone number?
If he hasn't, he certainly has a telephone book.
Well, then why do you suppose he hasn't at least called up?
Maybe he forgot all about it.
Mother, a man doesn't invite you to a New Year's Eve party and then just forget about it, you know.
Maybe we should go join him at the party.
Jane, I told you I don't know where the party is. He told me he'd meet us here in his car at 9 o'clock.
Well, it's almost 11 now.
Well, isn't this party also to announce his engagement to Eunice Doolittle?
Oh, yeah, I don't know, something like that.
Well, perhaps he thought it would be a little awkward to have you and Jane at his engagement party.
Oh, now, Mother, how could it be awkward?
Well, awkward or not awkward, are we going to sit here all evening waiting to hear from him? Let's call him up.
All the same, it might be awkward.
Why should it be awkward?
Well...
Hello, operator. Hello. What's the matter with this connection? Operator, I'm calling... Hello? Is this Mr. Carter's residence? Well, is Mr. Carter there? Oh, I see. No, thanks.
Well, they say at Carter's house he left 2 hours ago, so just forget about it.
The baby definitely has the sniffles.
All babies have sniffles at this time of year.
He caught his cold from you, you know, Mother.
Well, that's simply ridiculous. Matter of fact, I caught my cold from the baby. He's had the sniffles all day. And when I took his temperature...
That's when he got your cold.
He said he didn't. He had no temperature.
It isn't anything, Johnny. It's just the sniffles.
I suppose I ought to stay in my room all day.
Now, Mother, that's silly. You don't have to do anything of the kind.
Heaven knows I try to earn my room and board by doing everything I can to help.
Oh, Mother, please, this is New Year's Eve.
It's just like every other day as far as I'm concerned. You were both perfectly willing to go off and leave me all alone to wait for the New Year. But perhaps it's the last New Year I'll ever see.
Oh, now, Mother, why do you keep saying things like that?
It's Carter. Good evening, Mr. Mason.
Lily.
Happy New Year, Miss Mason.
Oh, dear.
Oh, I want to leave this with you.
Oh, Lily, you sweet old thing.
Well, thanks a lot, Lily.
Oh, it ain't nothing. Had a day off, cooked up some chicken, and where I worked to give me the wine. Well, Happy New Year to y'all.
Happy New Year, Lily. Have a good time.
Well, that solves everything. Now we don't have to go out at all. We can stay right here and celebrate.
We'll open the wine now, and at midnight we'll have a grand feast on Lily's chicken.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. It's New Year's Eve. Let's have fun.
You know it always gives me indigestion to eat just before I go to bed. Maybe there is some left over for me tomorrow. I never did approve of Lily. She's much too forward. But I do miss her cooking.
Doesn't say much for mine.
Oh, well, my dear, you learn. It takes time, of course.
I won't say anything.
Times are different now. When I was married, every well-brought-up girl knew something about cooking. Why, Jane, what is it?
I can't cook. I can't keep house. I don't know how to bring up a baby.
Jane,
I'm sure I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, yes, you do. You resented me from the first moment you saw me. You resented me because you wanted Johnny to marry Eunice Doolittle.
Why, my dear, I never said anything like that.
Now, you've hinted at it enough, though.
I did nothing of the sort. But they were engaged.
Mother, I was never engaged to Eunice Doolittle.
Oh, well, not perhaps engaged.
And even if I had been, you shouldn't keep talking about it to Jane all the time.
I don't see why she should be so touchy about it.
Touchy? That's why you hate me.
Jane, will you please...
No, let her go on. She can say anything she likes. I know my place here. I'm just a guest, an unwelcome guest.
For crying out loud, what's the matter with you two?
Well, there's nothing the matter with me.
Oh, well, this is her house.
This is not
Mother,
my
will you...
house.
Jane...
I do everything I can
listen.
to
There's a
help.
stranger around here. Everything I say is wrong, and everything I do is wrong.
Jane, will you...
Just because I happened to mention that John and Eunice Doolittle.
Now stop it, both of you.
Oh.
All right, there. You see what you made me say to Mother?
Well, you said it to me, too. Don't I count?
Yes, of course you count, darling, but Mother's an old lady. She won't be with us very long. Now, why can't you get along with her?
Why can't she get along with me? Because she hates me. You don't know how it is. You're down at the office all day. Between taking care of the baby, the house, and cooking and listening to her criticize everything I do, I can't stand it anymore. You can spit out only so many seeds.
What?
Where are you going?
I don't know. Just anywhere to get away from that wrangling.
Wait a minute. Don't you want me to go with you?
Don't you understand a man wants to be alone every once in a while?
Oh, I'm sorry, Johnny. Really, I am.
Jane, you don't have to apologize.
Would you rather I didn't come with you? It's all right, Johnny. I don't mind. You go ahead and have a good time.
Oh, you can come along if you want to.
You sure you don't mind?
Of course I don't mind.
Well, we'll have a wonderful time. You just wait and see. Oh, Johnny, what's happened to us?
I don't know. Maybe I pulled a dirty trick on you when I took the cinder out of your eye up in Boston.
What do you mean?
I mean, maybe the whole thing's been a mistake.
What whole thing?
Our marriage.
Oh, Johnny.
I've gotten into debt. I've gotten no place at the office. I've made a household drudge out of you, just like Mother said. Jane, it just hasn't worked out. It hasn't worked out.
But we haven't had any real trouble. Maybe a few silly little things that all people have to meet when they get married.
Maybe we shouldn't have had the baby.
Oh, but Johnny, you can't be sorry about the baby.
Oh, I'm crazy about him. I'm crazy about you, too, Jane. I'd die for either one of you. Jane, everybody that passes the table, they look at you because you're so beautiful and young, and you've got your whole life ahead of you.
Oh, ahead of us.
No. Not when you're dragged down by a guy who just can't make the grade. No, I'm not going to hold you to that kind of a contract.
Well, you ought to know all about contracts. Well, I suppose this is what you call starting the new year right. At least we finally found something to celebrate. Well, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Want to dance?
Yeah.
Wish the baby a Happy New Year.
Jane,
Hey, lonely heart. What's the matter?
Happy New Year.
All alone? Come on over and join our party.
Happy New Year.
Why are you so sad? Don't you feel good?
I feel fine.
Come on, handsome, we got champagne. Look what I found. A poor little lamb lost in the storm, alone and neglected.
Happy New Year.
Johnny, come quick, the baby.
The baby?
Something's the matter with the baby.
Pneumonia.
Dr. Healy.
Come into the office a minute. Sit down, my boy. You'd better get your wife.
Now, Doctor, if it's bad news, I don't want her to know about it. She just couldn't stand it. You can tell me, Doctor.
Your baby has type 9 pneumococcus with a streptococcus complication. And I'm sorry to say that the congestion is increasing. Now there's a serum, a new one. It's worked out in some cases. Without it, we don't stand a chance. With it, well, perhaps we have a ghost of a chance. We must get some of that serum as soon as possible. Every hour counts. I don't know whether we can locate any of it in the city or not. I'm going to check up on that right away.
Doctor, please don't tell my wife.
I won't. Give me the city health department.
All the type 9 serum has been sent to Salt Lake. Why don't you try Johns Hopkins in Baltimore?
Sorry. We shipped all we had for the epidemic in Salt Lake City.
Yes, the epidemic's under control here in Salt Lake. We can spare you 6 20cc vials. But how are you going to get it out of here in this storm?
See Judge Doolittle right away.
But at this hour of the morning?
You've got to wake him up.
Oh, I couldn't do that.
Now, you've got to. He knows me. I work for him. I've got to see him.
I'm sorry, but Judge Doolittle would never allow me to say there. Wait! You mustn't do that. Where are you going? You mustn't do this. It's outrageous.
Judge Doolittle. Judge Doolittle! Come on, wake up! Wake up! Judge, I'm sorry to wake you up like this.
What is it?
I got to talk to you right now.
Are you drunk?
No, my kid. He's in the hospital. He got pneumonia.
You must be drunk, waking me up in the middle of the night like this. It's outrageous. I've never heard of such a thing. Mason, if this is your idea of celebrating the New Year... Now, you listen to me.
Now, you listen to me. When you asked me to take that cut down to the office, I took it, and I didn't beef about it, but I should have. Because that's the reason the baby has to sleep in the dining room.
No. What are you talking about?
My baby's in the hospital dying of pneumonia.
What?
Dying! Can't you understand?
Dying?
Yes, my baby!
Your baby? Well, why didn't you get in touch with me before? I'm terribly sorry, Mason.
Oh, I don't need sympathy. I need serum. There isn't any in New York. There's none anywhere around here. And they finally found some in Salt Lake City, and it's 2,000 miles away, and every hour counts.
Now, be calm.
Be calm. I can't be calm. I can't be calm until I get that serum. And the only way to get it here is to fly it.
Yes, certainly fly it.
But there's terrific storms over Utah. All the planes are grounded. If there's just one thing that we could do.
Now, Mason, you must get hold of yourself. I know just how you feel, but you must get hold of yourself. Suppose the planes are all grounded. They could put it on one of the fastest trains, couldn't they?
No, they can't. I told you, every hour counts, every minute counts. We need a plane from Salt Lake City, but we have a plane. But... Yeah. The pilot wants $5,000 to fly it to New York. Oh, I don't know, Judge. I just didn't have anybody else to turn to.
Simon! Well, what are you standing there for? My checkbook. Get my checkbook. And get me a pen. Quick. One that'll write. And find out where the nearest telegraph office is.
Oh, yes.
You should have gotten in touch with me sooner. Now, don't you worry about that serum. We'll have it here, and in plenty of time, too.
Yes, Mr. Mason, the serum's here and the money's here, too, and I could certainly use that kind of dough. But the weather's gotten so bad it's impossible to take off, that's all. So what can I do? I know exactly how you feel. I'm a married man myself, and I got a couple of kids. I got to think of them. My wife won't let me. She says if I do go, she won't be here when I get back. If I get back? Well, what are you going to do with a guy like that?
Let me talk to him. Now listen, you, what do you think this is, a suicide club? You can't expect anybody in his right mind to fly a plane on a night like this, especially an old crate with whiskers. Why don't you... Well, sure. That's tough. We'd certainly like to help you out. Ain't there no other place you could get some of the stuff? Well, maybe in a few hours when the weather clears up. Gee, the guy's crying. Now, wait a minute, buddy. Take it easy. Suppose we... Well, maybe I... He just won't take no for an answer. Hold the wire. Jim, could I borrow your plane?
Are you nuts?
You know how it is. You've got kids of your own. Suppose you were in his place.
Well, I can't let you take my plane. I haven't got any insurance. I couldn't get any.
Hold it a minute. Keep your shirt on. I'll give you half the money if you'll loan me the crate.
Oh, what if you crack up?
Then you can keep the whole 5. I won't need it.
Well, I think you're crazy, but all right if you want to.
Okay, buddy. Relax.
Think you'll ever get off the ground with all that gas? Well, I did going down a little. Can't say I like that kind of dough. Looks to me like I'm going to be in $5 before morning.
He's all right. He's holding his own nicely.
May I go in and see him?
I don't think you better, not just now.
Why, Doctor? Why don't you want me to see
Now,
him?
please don't worry. It's only the...
Why don't you want me to... Oh, lying to me. You're lying to me. He's worse. That's why you wanted the oxygen.
Now, the oxygen's only to help him until the serum gets there.
Oh, you're lying to me.
Now, I want you to lie down and rest. I'll give you something to make you sleep. Will you do that for me?
Oh, Dr. Healy, please don't make me. I couldn't.
Please.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll be all right. When can I see him?
In a little while.
Baby dies, I want to die too.
I know, dear, I know, but you mustn't feel that way. You mustn't let John know that you feel that way. He loves the baby, too, you know. Almost as much as he loves you.
Poor Johnny, he'll be so lonely as the baby.
He'll have you, Jane, and you'll have him. You can't be lonely either of you, as long as you have each other. Do you know when you're really lonely? When you have no one to share things with, not even a loss.
Oh, Mother, you're lonely, aren't you?
I wasn't always a bitter old woman. I wasn't always a pest and a nuisance. Not when I had someone to share things with. And now the baby. Oh, my baby's baby.
Oh, Mother. Mother.
Denver calling commercial NC 24. Come in, Conway. Come in. Can't you read me, Conway? Can't you read me? Come in, Conway. Denver calling Newark. Do you read me, Newark? Still can't contact Conway. Storm increasing over the Rockies. Denver.
Send out an emergency to all stations. Stand by to contact Conway.
North Platte, Nebraska, calling Conway. Commercial NC 24. Do you read me?
24. This is Omaha. Do you hear me, Conway?
Chicago calling commercial NC 24. Conway, can you read me? Can't you answer, Conway? No, we haven't seen or heard a plane all day. Sorry, but there's no use sending searching parties out in this blizzard.
It's just something I could do. If there was just something.
There he is. Will you come with me?
Oh, Sister Madeline, I'm not a Catholic.
That doesn't matter.
You know how much he means to Johnny and me. We've only had him such a little while. Oh, God, dear, dear God, please. We do want to see him grow up and be a man. Please help our little baby. We love him so. He's so small, helpless. He can't do anything for himself. We can't seem to do anything for him. Please. Please. Please.
Shall I order another tank of oxygen, Doctor?
If the serum isn't here in another couple of hours.
Hello, Johnny.
Hello, Jane. always be together no matter what happens. Just like this always.
What do you want?
I'm hurt. Can you help me?
Mercy sakes alive.
What is it? What's happened?
Never mind that.
What place is this? Liberty Corners.
Where's that?
35 miles from New York?
For mercy sakes alive.
St. Francis Hospital, New York City. Rush. Hello? Hello? Operator? I want the St. Francis Hospital, New York City. And reverse the charges.
Happy New Year, darling.
Well, gentlemen, I guess 4's about enough on a business day.
Well, that's all very good, Joe, but ain't it about time you bought one?
What's that?
Conway calling Doolittle.
And there are certain things, gentlemen, that I want distinctly understood. Now, I called this meeting of all the partners in order to make my position clear once and for all. That before I accept your offer of partnership in the firm of Doolittle, Messerschmitt, Doolittle, Hutch, and Carter, you must know that I consider the methods of this firm at the present time old-fashioned, self-satisfied, high-handed, and thoroughly inefficient.
It seems to me that...
And I demand that they be changed, effective immediately.
Come in.
Oh, excuse me, I hope we haven't interrupted anything important.
Jane.
Oh, Johnny, I know
Please.
Judge Doolittle won't mind. We just couldn't wait.
We had to rush down the moment it happened.
What happened?
The baby can talk.
No.
Oh, they don't believe us. Come on, darling, let's prove it to them. Show them. Now, don't be afraid. Speak up. Say Daddy. Say Daddy. Come on, darling. Say Daddy. Come on, say Daddy. Speak up. Now, don't be afraid. Say Daddy.
Say Daddy. Daddy. Say Daddy. Say Daddy.
Come on, Johnny. Say Daddy. Say Daddy.
Mama.
What?
nos rires qui résonnaient partout, emplit mon cœur de joie. Lorsque je revis
Maurice, you're fat. And you are thinner. Jeannette! 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 Look.
Charles Wills, quand êtes-vous revenu? Vous êtes un méchant. Vous n'écrivez pas, vous disparaissez.
English, Mama, English. She loves you in French. We all miss you in any language.
It does not look well.
That means she wants to feed you. You're away too long. Almost 2 years, huh?
Thanks, Maurice. You remembered.
Bourbon straight, water on the side. You and Mr. Gamble. Only people who speak English would put things like that in their stomachs. You're back on business, perhaps?
No, just to see my little girl.
Oh, little ballerina. She don't go back with you?
No more for me, thanks.
The world has changed.
Yes.
It's not so crazy anymore like it was after the war, huh? You remember? We had much laughter together, eh, Charles?
Maybe we had too many laughs, Maurice. For a very big, very cold bourbon and water.
No bourbon, no gin, no cognac, no anything.
How will you celebrate?
For me, I keep the Pernod.
For you and me.
That lady over there, how do you say, she gives you the eye.
That one? She's not even smiling at me.
The eye without a smile is the most dangerous eye.
Excuse me.
Charles!
Claude!
Oh,
I knew you'd make it.
Oh, but you, I was afraid.
Nah, don't you know the bad characters never die in a war? Excuse me, I saw my old friend and I...
This is my dear and crazy friend, Charles Wills. Miss Ellsworth.
Miss Ellsworth.
Marion, please.
American? You've been here all through this?
Oh, we never left. Dad and I stayed on in an occupied France, Leon mostly. How do you know Claude?
Oh, he was an observer with our outfit. Haven't seen him since D-Day in Normandy.
I parted company with U.S. Army after Saint-Lô.
Back into the FFI?
With the General de Gaulle.
Quite a coincidence meeting here.
Well, if I hadn't seen you in the mirror, I thought some stranger was giving me the eye.
But no, I didn't see you.
Am I interrupting anything important?
Well, Mario and I are...
You must have influence around here. You have a drink.
Power of the press, ma'am. Let's see what my influence and lots of money can accomplish. Maurice!
I've got a better idea. Let's go to my father's celebration.
Well, where would he get enough whiskey for a party?
You don't know my father.
To fathers.
To men.
To Frenchmen.
Continuez la célébration. Ne soyez pas anxieux au sujet de votre maison. Nous allons essayer de vous le faire voir. Bonsoir. Marion! My boy, you have a thirsty look in your eye.
Oh, does it show?
Maybe it'll wait if you have a drink.
André!
And who have we here?
Charles Wills. He's a reporter for the Stars and Stripes. This is my father.
How do you do, sir?
A reporter? We don't need a reporter. We need a bartender here.
I invited this here because it seems to be the only place in town where you can get a drink.
And do you know that all these people came to precisely the same conclusion?
What is Helen doing here?
Hi.
What are you
What are
doing
you
here?
doing here? Well, the fact of the matter is...
Your sister has made me very proud. We couldn't tell you the good news before, but Helen has been expelled from the university.
What? If we're going to have a scene, either ask this young man to leave or introduce us.
Marion, please.
Helen.
Oh, now, look, let her alone. After all, I was expelled from Harvard, wasn't I? Why shouldn't a girl follow in her father's footsteps?
Excuse me a moment. I'll talk to you later.
I have a feeling she'll be talking to me, too.
Name, please?
Charlie something or other. He says he's a bartender. Oh, yes.
Charlie what?
Wills. I wish I were a bartender, a nice civilian bartender.
Puis-je vous offrir un peu de champagne?
Oh, merci. Voulez-vous me prêter votre verre?
Bien sûr.
C'est un vieil ami de la...
Si vous ne restez pas trop longtemps absent.
I told him we knew each other.
Well, we do in a way. We were only kissing in our review.
We were? We've seen now. You were one of the ones at the Ritz bar. Étoile? Place Vendôme. I know. Near the Dingo Cafe.
You do remember.
No. It's the only other place I ran into more uniforms today. Are you rich?
No. Does that finish me off?
No, but it does slow us up a little. We're not rich either. We just live that way. Daddy says it's the same thing, only it's much cheaper.
I think I like him.
That's good. Because he'll try to borrow money from you, and I don't want him to be disappointed. I like the way you kiss.
Really?
My dear, I'm afraid I've underestimated the alcoholic capacity of our guests.
I'll only be a few minutes.
Get the bartender here to help you. Say, Wills. Are you one of the wealthy Willses from Maryland? No.
This way, Lieutenant.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Where are you from?
Milwaukee.
Would you help me?
Sure. Noted for good beer, women with lovely legs, and practically no millionaires. And you?
New York till I was 12. Then Daddy moved us to Paris. When the Germans came in 1940, I was sent to school in Switzerland. That's where the loot's kept.
No.
Daddy put it there so the Germans wouldn't drink it.
Very resourceful man.
And lots of fun.
Is he?
That's his 11th commandment, having fun. Especially now. He says that after a war, everybody should always be gay and have fun.
Isn't your father a little old for this war?
Oh, he wasn't in this one. He was in the 1918 war, and he's been celebrating ever since. Now that the war in Europe is over, what are you going to do?
Try to stay out of the war in the Pacific.
That's very sensible. That ought to be enough to tame the tiger.
Charles, I was wondering what had happened to you.
Nothing. Yet.
Everybody's waiting to meet you.
Well, I've really got to report back to the paper for some sort of story.
Oh, can't you stay just a few minutes?
I'm sorry, I've got a deadline.
Oh, Lieutenant, don't take the party with you.
Oh.
That's a nice laugh. Do you think someday soon we might be rich?
Could you come back later?
All right, I'll try.
Better yet, I'll meet you. You call and tell me where.
All right.
Hello? Who is this, please? Who? Oh, Helen. This is Charlie Wills. No, Charlie the bartender.
The Army bartender?
That's right. Could you give Marion a message, please? Tell her that the lights of Paris go on tonight for the first time since the war began. Well, she wanted to meet me. At the Arc de Triomphe, right by the shrine for the unknown soldier. Thank you.
Et le général de Gaulle va, dans cette foule délivrée, parler au nom de tous, à celui qui dort à jamais inconnu, à jamais présent, sous la voûte des victoires. Le général de Gaulle rapporte simplement aux morts solitaires cette victoire déjà gagnée en 1918.
Hi.
Hi. I thought that...
Disappointed.
No, but...
Claude Marion Irving. You know. Again.
You were asleep.
Only my eyes.
And my arm.
They're weaklings. Your arm and my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Not worthy of us.
Mm-mm. They're not bad eyes. I'll take you home.
Did you read Thomas Wolfe? You can't go home again.
It's late.
All right. Promise me something. Promise. Don't ever let the celebration end.
There'll be another celebration when the rest of the war is over.
But it is over. For us, it's over. I'm sick to death of death. I want to enjoy things and have fun and live like every day is the last day. Wouldn't that be nice? A lifetime full of last days. Except it never really would be a last day. You're too serious. Make that nice smile. That's better. I don't care if you're not rich.
Good luck! Hi.
Oh, how wonderful. Look.
Didn't have to do this, my boy.
Oh, yes, he did. He's trying to make time with me.
What is it? I love vegetables.
Powdered eggs. Chocolate.
You shall not go unrewarded, my boy. Come to think of it, your generosity shall be repaid this very day. Now,
Good morning.
Good morning.
Look, meat, eggs.
About the powdered eggs, you see, they look something like
Never
eggs.
mind, we'll cook them in sherry. That'll make them taste like eggs.
Helen, please, I wish to make some small token of appreciation. Charles, my boy, a golden opportunity awaits us. Now, the question is, are we equal to the challenge?
Well, what is it, sir?
Benedictine in the 4th race today. He'll go to the post at 10 to 1. At 1 3/8 miles, he can't lose.
Why not?
It's a trade secret.
Daddy means he has a hot tip, right?
Another hot tip?
Look, we have less than 2 hours to become wealthy.
I think I can come along. I'll make a phone call.
Excellent. Now, if we pool our resources, what is your capital, my boy?
About $40.
Let's see. That means if we pool our resources, we have $40.
What a pity.
Maybe I can borrow some.
Don't you do it, Charles. He'll keep you as broke as he is.
Opportunity, my dear, is concerned with the future, not the past. Look, if it's collateral you're worrying about, I happen to own oil leases in Texas that are worth, well, you know, Texas.
Oh, Daddy. The oil leases are a family joke. Plenty of leases, but not one drop of oil.
Charlie.
What?
I feel lucky today.
I'll see what I can dig up.
I have the utmost confidence in the courage and ingenuity of the United States Army. To horse, my boy, to horse. Destiny hates a laggard.
The paper said the
Don't be nervous. Daddy's really very brilliant.
Well, what could possibly make me nervous? If we lose the race, I'll owe half a year's pay. The money belongs to 4 captains who fought their way out of Bastogne with their bare hands.
We won't lose.
Well,
did you bet it all?
Every penny, and at 12 to 1.
Why did the odds go up?
The suckers think that Benedictine will lose. What can you expect of agnostic, my boy? Over this way, what?
Which one is Benedictine?
Number 4. He lay back for the first half mile.
He looks scrawny.
Lean, my boy, lean and ready and fit.
Who gave you this tip? Where's Benedictine?
Running beautifully.
But where is he?
6th, in perfect position.
Benedictine.
7th. He's outsmarting him.
Helen.
I think I'll buy a new dress with my share of the winnings.
Why should that surprise you?
Not so much surprise as relief.
You know, at 12 to 1, that makes your share.
Maybe there's another race fixed today. If you
Fixed? Fixed race, my boy?
You mean this race wasn't fixed?
You've been reading too many crime novels.
There was no hot tip either, was there?
Well...
You just picked a crazy long shot out of a hat.
Intuition and experience, my boy.
But we could have gotten killed.
It's a wonderful way to make a living, isn't it?
This is the American Forces Network in Paris. A pall of black destruction and chaos still hangs over Hiroshima. Events are now moving swiftly. The president of the...
Hey, Maurice, you hear the news?
First things first.
It'll take more than one bomb down this caper. One will get you 20, it's over in a week.
Will you cover $60 for it?
You got it. Don't do it. Barney just came from the office. Japan offered to surrender if we let the Emperor stay in his throne.
When are we going home?
Charlie wants the dope on discharges. Well, if you start right now, you're already behind 10,000 other guys.
I have to get right back to the office.
Why?
I tried to phone you.
Don't ever phone if you can possibly come yourself. And don't ever leave if you can stay.
Maybe we can meet for late supper or something.
Pussy. Is it really over, the war? Because I want to buy you silk shirts, silk socks, silk shorts. Oh, darling.
Taxi!
What'd you do with my umbrella?
I had it when I started over here and stopped a second. Must have lost it. You've got a special edition coming out.
You better hurry.
I'll get you a taxi first. Taxi!
Now you stop fussing about me.
Will you wait for me?
I think I'll go home early and give Daddy a shock.
But in this rain.
I may not be able to cook and to sew, but I really can find myself a taxi. It's the first thing I learned at finishing school. Now you go on ahead.
You're a girl after my own heart.
Make no mistake about it. I'm after it, all right.
Violet? Miss. Marion! I phoned and I said I was all right for visitors. She get my flowers?
Every day.
All my messages?
Every one.
Can I go in now?
Charles?
What?
Hi.
How do you feel?
The nurse answers all the stock questions.
The patient improves, but it is required not to really hurt.
I was going to ask her to dance, but I guess that's out, huh? I was expecting a younger, more attractive nurse.
She's the fourth in 2 weeks. Daddy's a pincher. For heaven's sakes, get that guilty look off your face.
I lost your umbrella. I gave you the flu.
Don't be silly. It was raining. I got wet, so I got the flu. And it's not your fault. I was wondering how you'd look out of uniform. Even better.
It's my fault.
I would have caught this anyway. I catch colds even from weather forecasts. Thank you for the lovely flowers.
Oh.
What's the matter?
I don't know. You look so pale and sweet and faceless.
Remember, the nurse is right outside that door. Not that I'll call her.
One thing I learned these last weeks. I love you.
You loved me the first day.
I did?
You sure did. We should have told each other then. Look at all the headway we could have made.
For the first time in my life, I wish I had lots of money. Oh, money.
Daddy says it isn't what you have, it's what you owe.
I don't even owe enough.
And what are your prospects, young man?
Prospects? My old job on the news at 65 a week.
Please. I'm only supposed to think beautiful thoughts. Doesn't DuPont or General Motors need a president or something?
Oh, the Paris office. Europa News Service needs a reporter.
Paris?
It doesn't pay as much as a New York job.
But you don't need money to have fun in Paris.
But I've been working on a book. I should get back to the
Why
States.
can't you write your book here? Oh, Charlie, darling. Please marry me and let's stay here, please.
Oh, it sounds wonderful. Isn't it a little crazy?
Yes, it is crazy. If you had any sense, you'd walk right out that door and never see me or call me again. Maybe send back my umbrella and call it quits.
But I haven't any sense. No sense at all.
You have no sense. I have a 1-degree temperature. If I were 98.6, this would never happen.
Forgive me, but I'm rather enjoying playing the anxious father. After all, it's Helen's first marriage, you know.
Only marriage, sir.
Tut, tut. No arrogance, please. Helen tells me that you're a very serious-minded person. You know, both feet on the ground, hard-working, industrious.
Well, I try to be, sir.
I tell you frankly, these are not the qualities I'd hope for in a son-in-law. I'll go even further. They're not the qualities that make Helen happy.
Oh, well, sir, I'm going to work in a Paris news agency. I'll be surrounded by carefree, irresponsible characters. Some of it's bound to rub off on me.
Well, let us hope so. Tell me, do I strike you as being an unusual father?
You certainly do.
It's a very straightforward answer. Try to overcome this tendency. You understand, of course, that I can't afford to give you a large wedding.
I don't care for one, thanks.
Care for a drink?
Oh, yes, I love one, thank you.
That's too bad. You know, I'm getting a little low on this stuff, and I was...
Oh, that's all right.
Here you are.
Oh, thank you.
Do you know what you're getting for a wedding present?
Well, Helen told me what not to expect.
My dear sir, you are getting the old family joke. 4,000 acres of invaluable oil land.
Thank you very much, sir.
Not at all. You know, after all, it's not bad being an oil baron even if there's no oil. Huh? Well, did you give Helen your permission?
I had to give her my permission.
Huh?
Claude has asked me to be the mother of his children.
Really? That seems a bit irregular, doesn't it?
Dad, Claude has asked her to marry him.
Oh. Well. Then I suppose I must kiss you.
Do you Say best wishes to the bride or congratulations to the groom, or which way is it? I forget.
You just go ahead and kiss each other. What did you put into that kiss?
Why don't you come here and find out?
Helen getting married, Marion getting married. A father abandoned in middle age. What man could ask for more?
Give me a rewrite of that, will you?
How you feeling?
Pretty good.
Good, good. That beard looks good.
Oh, Charlie, if you're getting around and asking for money, not a chance. I haven't got a franc. If I had any, I wouldn't give it to you anyway.
The prices aren't going up here like in the States.
Neither are the white fellas, please.
I got a wife and baby waiting in the hospital. I need $500 to get them on a heart.
Why don't you leave them there? It's the healthiest place in town.
You can make jokes. You're not a father.
Oh, I don't know. All the returns aren't in yet.
How about it, Your Highness? Nothing like a hot tub after a long day's hauling, is there? Ah, there she is. Look at those legs. Will you, regular man, Gibber? Forgive me, Highness. This is not the folly Frisier. I beg your forgiveness. What can you expect from the common herd, my lady? Huh?
Oh, merci, Monsieur Ashwood. Je vais sécher et habiller le bébé maintenant.
Charles! I have good news.
Fine, fine. Where's Helen?
Charlie?
Oh, how's Marion?
She's fine.
Oh, it's fine, fine.
Hiya, Fatso.
Fatso is right. Look at me. Bulging out of my own clothes.
I happen to be insane about each and every bulge. Where's Vicky?
Being bathed.
I just can't help it. You look so pretty to me. Of course, I've been looking at my editor all day.
Oh, did you hit him for the bonus?
Mm-hmm. I got it, too. Only it's not a bonus, it's a loan. And I sent it right off to the hospital. So you can tell your daughter to come out now. She's all paid for.
I'll never be a size 10 again.
Vicky'll be exactly like you. Then I'll be surrounded by beautiful women.
That compliment and a martini will just about square you for putting me in jail for 9 months.
Martini coming right up.
Charles. Yes, Claude.
I was appointed to the prosecutor's staff today.
Well, what about your private practice?
But this is more important. There are many collaborators who must be brought to justice.
Sure. And the lawyers who defend them will get rich, and you'll get convictions and be broke.
Ta-da! Gentlemen, the Queen.
Hello, Highness. Well, what happened to her hair? She had some yesterday.
Wishful thinking, that's all.
You know, she's not bad for a first try.
You'd better be beautiful. A genius and terribly rich.
The beauty she got from my daughter. The genius she inherited from me. You better get busy with your contribution, my boy.
The last 9 months I've devoted to you. Now I'm going to have fun. What do you say, sweetheart? Whee! No guts, eh?
I was wondering if you could, thank you. I trust you're keeping a record of these loans, huh? Good night.
won't come along? Do you hate me for not holding your hand while you have your baby?
If you held my hand, the next thing I'd hold yours, and the next thing I'd kiss you, and the next thing...
I'd like that.
You're a glutton.
Coax me not to go out.
I can finish this thing tonight.
Please, it's not a thing. It's the great American novel. Charlie, will you still worship me when you're famous?
Say it.
It's even better than the first book. It's beautiful. It's too good for them. Let's send it off tonight.
Wake up. Spit on it for good luck.
This Christmas night, it is 5 years since the end of World War II. Veterans everywhere pray that peace will come with the new year.
Daddy. Daddy. Pardon, Papa.
English, darling, English.
I had a bad dream.
Grown-ups have them too, darling. I got you a glass of milk, huh?
One kiss for the road.
Oh, you're not Ben-Hur. You lost the race.
I need consolation. Hiya, Charlie. I lost the race and your wife won't console me.
Hi, Charlie.
Next time, win the race, huh?
Good night.
Look, there. I didn't forget it. Night, everybody. Hi. Charlie. Where's Charlie?
You haven't told her yet, huh?
Why spoil her fun?
Why let it spoil yours?
I'm peculiar, that's why. I used up a year of my life trying to write a book. For some unaccountable reason, I thought somebody would want to publish it.
My boy, you're not in the least peculiar. You're merely naive. Now, I knew a publisher once, and he made it a rule never to read a manuscript. Oh, he'd smell it and weigh it and feel it and taste it. But read it? No. Now, if this manuscript smelt and weighed and felt and tasted like garbage, then he published it. Would you like to know the secret of success? Mediocrity, my boy. To be a rich writer, you've got to remember your 3 R's. Riches, ruffians, rape.
Saturday Evening Post bought my cereal. $15,000. How fun. Good boy. Thanks. Farewell, hacks. Forever.
$15,000. Tax-free, too.
He could have at least thrown a party for everybody.
Good speech. Merci beaucoup. Charlie, run down to the police station, will you?
What for?
They're holding some crazy American dame. Seems she held up traffic by taking a dive into a fountain at noon today.
Not much of a story, is it?
No, but you know how Americans in Paris love to read about Americans in Paris.
All right. What's her name?
Helen Wells.
That's my girl.
No use acting as if you didn't know me. I'm your wife. In sickness and in health, in dry clothes and damp.
You know how you are with colds. You better go home and change.
We can't go home. Vicky's at the Dingo.
Again?
Isn't she better off in a nice, respectable bistro than all alone at home? This gonna get in the papers?
One more crazy American jumping into one more beautiful fountain. That isn't news anymore. Is that why you did it? To get into print?
I guess it was silly and stupid. But it was fun.
Was it?
Well, almost fun. On the verge of being fun.
Only it never is quite, is it?
No. Somehow it never is. I don't know why. Maybe it's something about Paris or me or the Times or something. It's as if you've got to hurry up. Hurry before... It's like you're trying to find out something terribly important,
Only you never do.
Oh, come on now. You always laughed at these things. Took a little time, but you laughed.
It isn't that. Campbell just sold a cereal in the Saturday Evening Post for $15,000.
And you hate him for it? Oh, darling, I think that's wonderfully human of you. Finally.
Liserez ce que vous avez fait. À Montparnasse, il vivra éternellement.
She's saying he's talking so fast.
This is Marcel.
How do you do? Who are you?
He says he's going to immortalize.
Je vous en prie, mademoiselle, un tout petit moment, s'il vous plaît.
What are you, running for office or something?
Oh, you know me, always good for a couple of laughs.
Mrs. Weeds, it's a good thing to make people laugh.
Well, don't I get anything? I paid the fine to get her out of jail.
Voyons, ma chérie, un petit moment, s'il vous plaît. Oui, je vous en prie, merci. Voilà. Merci, un petit moment, mademoiselle. Merci bien. Merci bien.
Ce matin, l'économie.
Anglais, Vicky. English.
Papa, I've been waiting to show you. This morning, Mama tressed my teeth.
No, Vicky. Not half and half. All English.
Watch, Daddy, watch.
Hold it. I haven't been kissed yet.
Hey, Charlie.
Barney.
You want to see something great? Go
Pretty young to be hitting the bottle, isn't she?
It's the floor, darling. Even Pavlova couldn't dance on a floor like this. You all right?
I'm sorry.
Say something nice.
It's swell, kid. Great. The boss wants me on an interview with the Royal Francais. I can't handle it. Got a heavy date. Cover for me, will you? The woman's name is Lorraine Quall.
Who's Lorraine Quall?
Cafe Society. So long, kid. You got a great act there. Great. All it needs is a finish.
Oh, you've got the right finish, haven't you, sweetheart? Right into my arms.
Mr. Wills.
Mrs. Paul. I am Wills from the Europa News Service.
I hate to be late. I'm sorry. And I need a drink. Leon,
Say, Mrs. Squire?
please. You can skip the usual. Paris is beautiful. American women love French men. French men love American women. Prices are too high. I haven't picked out my next husband yet. Might be the bartender. At least he has talent.
You've been interviewed before.
The last time, an hour ago. He wasn't very young or very attractive. The interview was very, very short. You can take your time.
A first trip to Paris?
No. First divorce here, that's all.
Why'd you choose Paris?
I get saddle sores in Reno, and I lose too much money in Las Vegas.
According to our files, you were married 4 times.
3. Annulments don't count. Leon?
Is something wrong?
Is something right? You really can't tell one of my marriages from another without a program. Husband number 1, for love. Failure. Husband number 2, for money. Failure, except for the money in the name Quarrel. Husband number 3, annulment. He forgot to tell me he already had a wife. Husband number 4, a bullfighter. 4 times a bet. Haven't had a hit.
Any children involved?
No. And that's my only contribution to humanity. I told you I was a failure. Shouldn't you be writing this down?
Oh, the interview stopped long ago.
Thank you. I'm hungry. What about dinner?
I'm not on an expense account. I'm just a struggling newspaper man.
Well, stop struggling. The dinner is on my 4 husbands. I change and I'll be right down.
But what about the...
Please, Mr. Wills. At home, my analyst charges $50 an hour to listen to me talk.
Hey, that's my taxi.
Charles. Hello, Claude. I'm glad to see you. How have you been? Fine. You look fine. How are you, Marion?
Fine.
You look fine. I'm fine, too. Oh, excuse me. My sister-in-law, Mrs. Mateen, Mr. Mateen, Mrs. Paul. Claude's with the prosecutor's office.
Oh? I hope we haven't done anything wrong.
Mrs. Quall just arrived in Paris. I'm interviewing her.
How's Helen?
Fine. Oh, and you should see Vicky. She's... You know, we really should see more of each other. After all, family and...
I'll get in touch with Helen in the morning.
Good night, Mrs. Cromwell.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Charles, I really would like to see you again. Good night.
Good night, Claude. Thank you.
How is Harry?
Now, what's one little wife among all your husbands?
I imagine you'll catch it when you get home.
From Helen? Not Helen. She's the most wonderful, most understanding. Do you mind if we don't go on with the interview? Somehow I'm suddenly cold sober. And it's awfully late. And if I don't get back to the office and do this story...
Can I go with you? To the office, I mean.
Why?
I don't know. Probably never see each other again, and I like to drag the night out a little. And I should see that story.
Well, that office is awful cold and dingy at this hour of the morning.
You'd be surprised how often I feel cold and dingy. I'll be simpatico.
Well, good morning. Now, what's the matter? Oh, Charlie, how could you? Don't Charlie me, sister. What about you? I'm sick and tired of you sitting around these crummy cafes day and night, the darling of every phony, petted by writers who don't write, adored by painters who don't paint. And what do you write? Interviews with useless, sloppy women. At least I don't jump into fountains and lap up all the liquor in Paris. Well, why don't you ask me why I drink? Why I jump into fountains? That's right. Blame me. Blame me. Did I want to stay in Paris? What right have you to criticize me? You're suspicious. You? Ah! That's a laugh. Now you just listen to me.
Morning, darling.
Helen. Do you realize what time it is?
Does it matter, darling?
It's 8 o'clock in the morning.
It's your turn to take Vicky to school.
Do you realize I've been out all night?
Poor darling. All right, I'll take her to school.
Well, don't you care I've been?
You look awful. Was it a tough assignment?
I was interviewing a woman.
It's nice. A much better copy than that.
She was a rich, beautiful, exciting woman. She was interested in me. Well, don't you even care?
What are you trying to say, Joe?
I'm trying to say that I love you.
What kind of a woman did you say she was?
How many kinds are there?
Was she really pretty?
I'd lie about it, but Marion saw it, too. Yes, she's very pretty.
Marion?
We ran into Claude and Marion. She'll probably try to build it up into something, but...
Just how rich and how pretty was she?
Oh, shut up. I don't hear a thing, do you?
I'll be back in a minute. Hello? Marion? What? What? Say that again.
It's a lie. You know how Marion has never liked me.
Charlie, we're rich. We're rich!
didn't you tell us?
I am not old. I couldn't tell you last night because I was celebrating last night. I stopped by Marion's on my way home this morning and had breakfast with her and told her that.
How much we worth? Marion says that you said that we're stinking rich.
Marion always editorializes. Money has no odor.
Oh, especially lots of it.
Qu'est-ce que c'est? English, Vicky, English.
Are we millionaires?
Insanity. There's a wide streak of insanity in this family, Vicky, on your mother's side.
We have hit an oil gusher.
We what?
Oil, darling. The stuff that put Texas on the map.
You mean those worthless oil leases of ours?
A generous wedding present from me, which I trust you will remember and keep in mind.
How rich are we?
Well, there's a state law about only pumping out 80 barrels a day. Now, at $2 a barrel, that's
only $160 a day.
7 days a week?
Of course, oil is an act of God.
That's $1,100 a week.
And 27.5% tax-free.
What if we sold out?
My thoughts exactly. A capital gain.
But if we didn't sell out, we'd have an income for life.
Is everybody from Milwaukee cautious?
Sensible, just sensible.
We'll redecorate everything from top to toe. Me too, I'll have my hair cut. We'll take Marion's room and turn it into a writing room for you. Do you suppose we really could run through $50,000 in a year?
Well, we could try.
We?
Oh.
No, what?
Of course. We could drill another well.
Marion never said a word about running into you last night.
Mama, what's oil? Oh, Vicky. Oh.
No more deadlines, no more journalism. The job is dead. Lower away. Catch it!
What are you going to do now, Charlie?
Now? Now I'll finish my third novel. If this one doesn't get published.
It'll get published.
I got no money worries. I got no job worries. What would I use for an excuse?
If you got enough money, no excuses are necessary.
Good luck to you, Charlie.
Always
Good luck. This one will be a good luck.
That'll be 5,000 francs.
Oh, I should like to do more for charity.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Helen, pardon me, moi, s'il vous plaît?
6,000 for another kiss.
I'm really worth much more, you know. What?
I never expected to see you at a charity.
Neither did I.
Something wrong?
Yeah?
Vicky?
No, Charlie. Look, he hasn't moved from his room all day. He's still there. He won't eat anything. He won't say anything. Just sits there in the dark, alone.
Charlie. What's the matter, darling? Have you had dinner? Do you want me to fix something?
Go away, Helen. Let me alone.
Is it something I've done? Please, Charlie, whatever it is.
All right. You're a good wife. You're devoted and loyal. You've done your duty. Now, please go back to your party and let me alone.
trying to help.
Help what?
You, me, us. I don't know.
Help what, this? Can you help another rejection? Can anybody help that?
Why? Because some publisher turned you down again?
Yes. Again. Again, Helen. And again. Can you help it that I'm stupid enough to spend 5 years writing 3 stupid books? Can you help it that I'm no writer?
But you are. You're wonderful. They're the ones that are stupid, not you.
Dear Mr. Wills, we regret to inform you. I'm no good, Helen. Go away and let me alone.
Oh, Charlie.
Please, I can't explain my failure to you. So be a good girl and let me alone.
But you're not a failure, not to me.
When I was 20, I used to think I would write great books. I would be able to do this because I was different. I wanted perfection, and that made me different. But I'm not 20 anymore, and it's too late now.
We'll try again.
No! I just don't have what it takes. All I need to do now is get used to the idea. I'm rich. For the price of a few drinks, I could buy fame and friends or something like them. Why spend years writing? I can hold court in some noisy bar and criticize writing and talk about writing and...
Make it, boy.
$25 says I do.
We've already got 75 bet.
Make it 100.
All right. 100. Sucker.
Vas-y, Charles. Vas-y.
Charlie.
Oh, attention.
Watch this, baby.
Come on, Charlie. Hold it, Charlie. Ah, voilà, mon vieux. Fais attention, il va te battre. Oh, non, Charles. Fais attention. Hey, Charlie. Il va te battre. Vas-y, Charles. Vas-y, Charles. Charlie, hold it. Vas-y. Vas-y. Charlie, mets-le. Voilà. Ah, Charlie.
All right, Sally.
Winner and still champion, and this is the arm that did it.
Take me home.
Waiting for the car. Being souped up for the race.
Race?
Sports car event. Monte Carlo to Paris.
Take me home now, please.
That's what I thought you said.
And lovers walk beneath those trees, and birds found songs to sing.
Anybody phone?
No.
Kind of quiet, isn't it?
It's nice, though, isn't it?
Why hasn't Vicky come in to say goodnight?
Your daughter is in a complete state of crisis. One of her front teeth fell out.
How's she taking it?
Oh, life is completely over for her. She says she'll come in if she doesn't have to smile or open her mouth.
Sure. I know a big dramatic situation when I see one.
You don't really mind staying in tonight, do you?
Of course not.
How's it going?
Not easy getting started again.
But But you promised.
And I'm trying.
When you'll make it.
Poor little ballerina.
Thank you very much. Not a bad kiss at all, considering. When will you smile again? At least can you give me an estimate? Teeth grow back in a few months, you know.
But by that time, those muscles will be all set hard and you won't be able to smile. They say you're the wickedest woman in Paris. You know what I'll look like pretty soon?
May I borrow a pair of cufflinks? I can't see them. Both of you put your upper plates back in. You're making me self-conscious.
Can I dance for you, Grandpa?
In the morning, my dear.
I have to get up at 6 tomorrow.
Well, that'll work out fine, because I should be getting in by then.
Good night, darling.
Bonne nuit, maman.
Bonne nuit. Milk, literature. What's the meaning of this?
I'm supposed to be working.
Your idea?
It's a fine idea. Don't you corrupt him.
I wouldn't think of it. But we will miss you with the Wilsons. Can you imagine throwing a white tie party simply because it's Thursday?
Couldn't we go?
Oh, Charlie.
Really, it would be good for me. And tomorrow morning, I'll chain myself to that chair. Please.
Why do I always end up saying yes when I really mean no?
By the way, I'm bringing a friend. He's an international tennis bum. Paul? Now, don't worry about him at the Wilsons. He's invited everywhere. Come to think of it, that's how he makes his living.
You mean he gets paid for being a guest?
No. He steals the silverware.
Charming.
Paul, my daughter and Charles Wills, my son-in-law.
How do you do?
Enchanté.
I hear you played in Rome.
I play all the tournaments.
How do you make out?
Brilliantly. Until the second round, then invariably some young Australian or American schoolboy beats me.
But nobody beats him in jumping over the net and congratulating the winner.
I'm the champion, graceful loser. Forgive me, but you're the lady in the fountain, the Cafe Dingo. Oh, it's my favorite painting. Whenever I'm in Paris, I go there to stare at it.
Well, you're in luck. Now you can stare at the original.
Come with me, Paul.
Until later.
Sort of appealing, isn't he?
What?
Appealing.
Yes, in a revolting sort of way. Enchanté.
Well, my dear, it was the funniest thing you ever saw. All those gangsters on the television and this Kafar asking all those questions. Nobody in New York working at all.
George
All the
Bernard
bars
Shaw
were
died.
Mostly old age.
You're going to drive in this race yourself?
Certainly.
What do you get if you win?
What do you get? You get to be winner. That's what you get.
Well, what do you know? It's my wife. Hiya, wife. All right, sporting blood. Run along to the locker room.
Come back in a few minutes, Paul. It's only his guilty conscience. It won't take long.
Oh. Hey, what kind of a wife are you, dancing with other men?
The average kind. Neglected.
What's with Mr. Tennis and you?
Oh, we're Paul and Helen now. He's sweet and attentive. Doesn't think it's terrible at all that I'm married and have a 7-year-old daughter.
Maybe he just wants to be mother.
Not exactly. He's made several suggestions. That wasn't one of them.
Well, let me know how he makes it. Lorraine! Lorraine Quall! You've forgotten me.
Believe me, the only thing I've forgotten about you is your name.
Wills, your open news service.
Charlie! Oh, it's so good to have my arms around you again.
Oh, you've gotten me confused with somebody else. We never got that far.
Why not?
You get married again?
Of course. And I'm in Paris now to get rid of him. Are you still married?
Yes, of course.
To the same woman?
To the same wonderful woman. I have to say that because she's standing right here. May I present my wife, Helen, Mrs. Quall.
Oh, it's Mrs. Johnson now. But not for long. How do you do?
I'm not quite sure.
You're much prettier than I expected.
And you're much less beat up than you have a right to be.
Is it all right if I come back now?
Oh, Paul Lane, this is the temporary Mrs. Johnson.
The best mediocre tennis player in the world.
I've seen you around my hotel.
Oh, I always stay at the Royal Francais.
Tennis, anyone?
Yes.
Like wine. Keeps you drunk.
Charlie, I'd like to go home.
Home? What's the matter?
Nothing. I'd just like to go home.
That sound reasonable to you?
Are you going to take me home?
Oh, I would, but I can't. I promised to show Lorraine how fast the car would go.
Do you mind if Paul takes me home?
Paul who?
Paul anybody. Party like this, there must easily be 6 or 7 Pauls around.
You can't hold a serious discussion with her. I can get up to 60 miles an hour with this baby. Second gear.
That's a habit you must try and grow out of, kitten.
Why do grown-ups drink milk when they have all 32 teeth?
Well, we develop butterflies in our stomach, and milk seems to quiet them down.
How do they get in your stomach?
They usually hide in the bubbles of champagne. But it's a well-known fact of hydrodynamics. Good night, my dear.
Good night.
Get your coat, Vicky.
Can Daddy come with us to the Bois?
We're going to church first.
Is it Sunday already? What happened to Friday and Saturday?
Run along, Vicky.
Are you coming, Daddy?
I'll meet you at the bar later. Church on Friday? What happens at church on Friday?
The usual thing.
Well, as long as you're in that sort of mood, can I expect a little sympathy for this head? Heads?
Very little.
What did I do?
That I'd be very interested to hear.
Go for a ride on that thing myself. How about it? Must you look so grim?
I'm waiting to hear the end of the midnight ride at Paul Revere. You got the car up to 103 miles an hour and then started back, right?
All right.
Then
Then nothing. I dropped Lorraine at her hotel, or she dropped me at the house. I forget which.
sure that's all you've forgotten?
Sorry to disappoint you, but nothing happened last night.
Tonight's another night. She'll be beautiful again. You'll be full of wine again.
And nothing will happen again. Who took you home last night? That tennis player?
He didn't exactly take me home.
Oh.
He asked me back to his hotel for a nightcap. I went.
Did you have to fight your way out?
Oh, there was a battle, all right. But it wasn't Paul I had to fight with. It was myself.
Did you win?
Now, you listen. I'm under the same strains and stress as you are. I live in Paris, too. And I'm bored, too. And all that time, I had a picture in my mind of you and that woman. And don't underestimate Paul. He's charming and attentive and... And I'm so unhappy. Charlie, let's go home.
All right, as soon as Vicky finishes with...
I mean, really home. America. Home.
It won't work. Running home.
Charlie, let's go back. Before we crack up. Please. If you love me, let's go back home.
You used to say, let's live it up a little. You were right. There's lots of time to go home. Plenty of time for everything.
Suppose time runs out on us.
You're just having a bad day, darling. Tomorrow will be...
I've been having a bad day for a year now. Maybe I'm growing up.
It's too late to grow up. I tell you what, come racing with me. We'll go to Monte Carlo.
Why is winning a race so important?
I don't know. Maybe I could do a short story about racing. Why not? All right. I get a kick out of racing. It's fun. To quote your illustrious father, nothing is more important than fun. Does that make me sound stupid? Is that what you want me to say? Come with me, Helen.
No, Charlie.
Well, maybe I'll take somebody else. Wouldn't that be reasonable?
You'll find a reason to make it reasonable. Look out for Vicky, will you?
Well, where are you going?
To do something important. Buy a new hat. Cognac, quickly, 2 of them.
Mr. Wills?
Mrs. Wills. She here?
What more joy can there be?
This ought to be good. Well, look who's here. What's the news from the racing world?
I called you at the house. You weren't there.
Of course not. I'm here.
It's not funny.
You haven't been at that house for a week. I didn't think that was very funny either. Now I think it's very, very funny. You remember Paul, don't you? No? That's sort of funny, too. Because I remember Lorraine.
Will you join us for some dinner?
Shut up.
I love to join you.
What time does he drink champagne from your slipper?
We've already done that. How do you like him? Don't you think he makes me look years drunker?
I hope you don't mind a harmless little dinner.
Oh, come on, Paul. You can do better than that. You could tell them to go away, for instance. Leave us alone.
Not me, dear. It's your responsibility.
Please, we're all very civilized, no?
No.
That's my boy.
It's me again, and I'll take a poke at you.
I wouldn't do that, Charlie. Because then I'd have to take a poke at Lorraine.
What's funny?
Why, you, me, all of us. Very funny.
Please.
Charles.
Please.
Wise guy. World's full of wise guys.
You're beautiful.
And
And exciting.
And rich, too. Love also.
Of course, I love you.
Love is never, of course. Is it?
Please, I'll never let you be lonely.
Paul. How are we going to tell him?
Tell him. Tell him what?
Hold out. That you love me. That I'm not going back to him.
That's silly. Of course you're going back to him. Well, if you don't go back to him, it'll spoil everything for us. You can see that, can't you?
Of course, darling. I stay married and keep you on the side. And when I'm lonely, Oh, brother.
Well, the idea wasn't invented just now. It's done all the time. Half your crowd have arrangements.
Is that what you expected of me?
Helen, listen. What's the matter with you?
Suddenly, I've got very cold feet.
Charlie? Please, Charlie.
Do you want me to go away? Is that what you want? I'm sorry. Couldn't find a taxi. I couldn't.
Docteur, où est M. Wells? Sa femme le demande. Faites vite.
He's outside.
He can't see her. I won't let him.
Marion.
You took my umbrella.
I'm sorry, darling. So sorry. Please forgive me.
Take care of Vicky. Don't let Vicky make the same mistakes.
always love you.
Please, Mr. Wills.
You were sworn.
You'll have to leave here. Now, Mr. Wills, this is no way to...
Get out of here.
Let him alone, Doctor. You better go, son. Vicky's alone. Charlie, what are you going to do, son? You've got to talk to Marion. If you don't, you're going to lose Vicky. She's going into court today, going to ask for custody of Vicky, charging you're unfit as a parent.
She's right. I'll hurt Vicky just as I did Helen.
What do you do?
I want to go home. All the way home.
Thing of beauty, huh?
Oh, boys. I'm sorry I'm late now.
Americans. Always in a haste. When he's a rich American, it's even
Not
worse.
rich anymore, Maurice.
What happened to the, oil? No?
No, Maurice. It changed back to salt water a year ago.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Maybe not.
You must dine with us tonight, like old times, Charles.
I don't know. Depends.
Janet will be very disappointed. We have many things to remember together. Come back, Charles, please.
Oh, I'll try.
Charlie. Hello, son.
What happened?
Oh, light stroke.
When?
8 or 9 months ago.
But you never wrote me about it.
It wasn't serious. Mostly old age. Charlie,
read your book. It's good. Very honest.
Thanks.
Yeah. I liked it. I liked it fine.
Here, for you. Havana cigars. The kind you like. Shall I open them for you?
Oh, later. Doctor says when I'm better, huh?
Where's Vicky?
You've come for her.
If I can get her back again.
Good. Good.
Daddy, 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 Daddy!
You're taller.
Daddy,
What?
you're not gray. I told everybody at school you'd be gray.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. Oh, here. Claude.
Well, Charles, I'm very happy to see you.
Thanks. For everything, thanks.
As soon as I got your telephone message, I went to school and got to Vicky.
Look, Daddy, look.
It's wonderful, as usual.
Daddy.
What?
Could we go to the bar? Remember the railroad train?
Well,
Oh, please. Please. That was the very first thing I wanted to do when you came.
You've got about an hour till Mario comes back.
I'll wear my new coat.
Okay. How is Marion?
She's fine.
I want you to know, Claude, how much I appreciate...
Oh, I didn't do anything. I showed Mario your letter. She couldn't stop you from seeing Vicky.
I was hoping she'd let me have Vicky back. I've got to have her, Claude. I need her.
Yes, I think she needs you, too.
Thanks.
Daddy. Daddy, hurry, Daddy. The hour's almost up.
About your book. And about Mario. If we are careful, it may be all right.
Daddy, what's the matter?
Why, nothing, darling. Why?
You didn't even look at me. Didn't even wave at me.
You give me another chance. You get back on that train.
Daddy, may I sit out the next ride?
Oh?
I'm really getting too old for that sort of thing. Don't you think so?
Yes, you're real old now. Darling, do you ever think of your mother?
Oh, yes.
I don't want you to forget her.
I have a picture of her in my room. Grandpa says I look like her. Do you think so, Daddy?
Yes. Very much like her.
That's lucky for me. Why don't I live with you?
Boy, aren't you happy?
Yes, but not perfectly happy. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I know what you mean.
Then I can come and live with you?
I don't know. I don't know.
Don't you want me to?
Of course, darling.
Oh, Daddy, if you really love me, please let me come and live with you. Please.
We'll see.
Say yes, Daddy.
Yes.
There. You see? Wasn't so hard to say yes, was it? Hello, Uncle Claude. From the Bois, we went to Ernest's, and we bought something for you, Uncle Claude, and for Aunt Marion, and something for me, too. It's a wonderful store and a wonderful day. Oh, Aunt Marion. You ought to see what we bought for you. It's a surprise. Look.
You're late for your nap.
But I thought today...
Go on up to your room.
Don't you want to see your present?
Do as I say, please.
Hello, Marion.
Hello, Charles.
It's good to see you again. I'm sorry about getting back so late with Vicky.
Oh, well, she would have been too excited to sleep anyway.
Discipline is very important.
You've done a wonderful job with Vicky. She's grown up.
How do you find Paris?
Well, most of the old crowd is gone. Funny, I dropped in at the Dingo Bar this afternoon just to see how it looked. There wasn't a man I knew.
I should think you've had enough of bars.
As I wrote you, I take one drink every afternoon, but no more. And I take that drink deliberately, just so the idea of taking a drink won't get too big.
Of course, Charles. We understand.
Sometimes I forget and don't take the drink. But, well, I went to the Dingo, see how it looked. I went to a few other places, too. Places where Helen and I... Look, Marion, I just can't keep on talking. I'm all tied up in knots. Marion, can I have Vicky back?
I don't know. It's all very well to talk about one drink a day, but what guarantee have we that... Well, when I think of those wasted years...
But I think about them, too. I'm working hard now, Marion. I've got a contract for several short stories, and I'm starting on another book. And my sister's coming from Milwaukee to keep house for me. I want Vicky. Please, Marion. If we wait much longer, I'll lose a childhood and my chance for a home. I just can't lose her, don't you see? It'll be almost like having Helen back.
Marion?
I can't help it. I'll never in my life be able to forget that morning when Helen, soaked and and shivering. You locked her out.
Marion.
But you only remember one night. How long are you going to make me pay for that one night? What about those years Helen and I loved each other?
I don't want to hear about it.
Marion, you're not going to let me have Vicky?
No. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
I'm sorry, Charles.
What'll I do?
We'll see.
I'll get dinner started.
Marion.
There's no use talking about it. He's not getting Vicky. Not now, not tomorrow, never.
Why? Do you hate him that much?
Yes. For what he did. Yes.
Yes. It's true. He committed an unforgivable crime against you personally. He's guilty of never knowing you loved him. You found him, but he married Helen. Yes, he's guilty of that, too. And being guilty, of course, he must be punished. The penalty? What would hurt him most? Take away what he loves most. His little girl. My poor darling. We can't have everything we want. Take me. I wanted all your love. I wanted our own child. A child out of our love, not out of your disappointment.
La dernière fois, son rire qui résonnait partout emplit mon cœur de joie. Lorsque je revis
Charles, may I see you outside for a moment?
Les amants s'embrassaient sur les grands châtaigniers du bois. J'évitais les vieux taxicabs qui voulaient m'écraser. Le potin de leur klaxon m'était doux.
I don't think Helen would have wanted you to be alone.
Mon Paris d'autrefois, le Paris
Daddy! Daddy! Daddy!